Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. Um, I'm going for a more colorful, colorful black and colorful look today. I have my mesh multicolored shirt on with a black t-shirt. Same earrings and choker. I do want to get some more chokers, but I want to get ones with like studs or spikes on them. I've had this, I've had the bracelets before, but I don't have them anymore. I do want to get some more of those also. Um, Also, where I live, we don't have a lot of stores, and one of my favorite stores to go to shop closed. Yeah, they closed down, last year or the year before, and I did not know it. So, yeah, that sucks. I like going in there. It's one of my favorite stores to go in there, but it's not there anymore. So, that's okay. I will be getting some more fishnet tights as well. But yeah, guys. How's the weather where you guys live? We had snow. It's starting to melt now, but you know, we had snow and everything, but it's gone now. Yeah, so I'm gonna, come on here and make a video about alternative fashion, like the history and stuff like that. I'm gonna focus more on like what is alternative fashion and the characteristics, and then the next video, which is part two, I'm gonna make a video about like the historical and the social aspect of it, because we always talk about alternative stuff, but we don't really talk about the fashion. That is part of it. It's not just the music. So, I got my notebook here. I got my notes, because I don't want to give you guys the wrong information. So if you see me look down, I'm looking at my notebook. Also, if you hear something in the background, I'm watching TV. Okay, so let's get started. So, alternative fashion. So, alternative fashion is alternative fashion, or alt fashion, is if you see me looking down a lot, I'm looking at my notes. The lighting in here is not bad. All up until the point he would be removed from both jobs a year later, with the backstage scuttlebutt at the time being that Heyman, well, clearly a very creative mind, didn't necessarily have the diplomatic skills required to work with a notoriously volatile Vince McMahon backstage anymore. Okay, so alternative fashion, or alt fashion, is what they say, is it's fashion that stands out, stands apart from mainstream and commercial fashion. Meaning it stands out from what's trendy at the time and what's going on at the time in both culture and in the mainstream and commercial fashion. Now it includes both styles. It includes certain styles that do not conform to mainstream or commercial fashion or in society, such as emo, goth, hip-hop, or punk. Let's see. Where am I? With this leaving both the boy from the Bronx and the fans of his show worried that it was becoming too WWE-ified, losing any of the rebellious spark that had made it special in the first place as a result. And this would all end up coming to a head at the WWE iteration of the brand's some alternative fashion styles are, you know, often that his ideas weren't going to work for this audience, and that instead it should have been Punk who won the title at the end of the night. After that, then, feeling disrespected by the turn of events, sorry guys, I'm looking at my notes and I can't, you know what, hang on. Spent the next 6 years entirely divorced from the wrestling industry. And it was during this time that he would branch out further as looking for marriage. So, this is a lot better. I don't know why I didn't do this the first time. Okay. So, where was I at? I lost my train of thought. Okay, so certain styles of alternative fashion, it's often grabbing and artistic. It's often, grabbing, artistic, and practical, goth, ghetto, and like ravehead, if you're a ravehead. So, certain alternative styles are more grabbing and artistic and practical. For example, if you're a ravehead, if you're like into ghetto fashion, or if you are punk, gothic, or emo, or if you're into the hip-hop fashion. Okay, so, next. While some develop from anti-fashion subcultures that focus on simplicity and elitism, if I'm saying that correctly, elitism. I hate elitism. That's another thing I don't like about the alternative scene. There's a lot of gatekeeper, elitism bullshit. It's people like that. People like that are the ones ruining the subculture. Like, do you even know the own subculture you're a part of? You're the one ruining it by acting like, oh, the subculture should be about what it was in the 80s and the 70s. I understand that, but we are not in the 70s and the 80s anymore. And I feel sorry for people that live their life in the past. It must be really boring and very difficult for people like that. Okay, so elitism, such as grunge, rock, and skinhead. Yeah. So, it is sad and unfortunate that some of these subcultures, it is, gatekeeper and elitism, bullshit like that. So, characteristics. Let's talk about the characteristics, because I feel like some people don't talk about that, or they don't talk about it enough. Characteristics. Okay. So, alternative fashion styles often originate as ways of self-expression, um, expressing different attitudes towards individuality, being your own independent individual, um, consumerism, yeah, consumerism, uh, being your own independent individual, consumerism, obviously, I'm not surprised. Oh, and social constructs, social constructs, behavior and self-expression, social expression slash disillusionment. No, wait, hang on. Disillusionment. With with what is viewed in society as, quote, normal. I hate the word normal. It seems like people don't know how to use other words to describe something. Like, what is normal? When I hear that word, I feel like somebody's trying to, like, describe somebody as a robot or something. There are other words you can use besides normal. Let's see. Where am I at? Let's see. It's what is viewed in society as normal. Many styles are influenced by music and the dress styles of individual bands or musicians. So, most of them, rock stars and rock bands and stuff like that. Let's say influenced by bands and musicians. While the qualities of individualism and open-mindedness, yep, that's another thing. The subculture should always be about being your own independent individual and being open-mindedness, individuality, are associated with alternative fashion, levels of conformity within subcultures, judgmental behaviors, because some people are judgmental, mental behaviors, and expressions of feelings of superiority. Superiority exists within not only the alternative fashion subcultures, but also in the mainstream and in the commercial fashion as well. So, superiority so it does exist in mainstream fashion, commercial, and fashion, and the culture. Let's see what else. Also, there's that pressure to fit in. People want to try and fit in. I don't know why some people do. Like, I never cared about fitting in. I never cared about that shit. It's so stupid. To fit in, even just within a small niche community, many influenced by personal style. So, if you are influenced living in like a small niche community, it can have a personal influence on your personal style. So, that's it for this video. I hope this makes sense. I really did try to make it make sense to the best of my ability. But yeah, guys, that's the characteristics and what the fashion subculture is. And it was definitely influenced by individuality and self-expression, and not giving into like the trends of like mainstream and commercial fashion. But there is some superiority within the subculture fashion, alternative subculture fashion, and in the mainstream commercial fashion. Almost as if they're trying to, like, I don't know, take over. Like, this is the number one fashion scene. Yeah, like, it's self-expression. That's what it is. You're expressing yourself in your own way. And to you gatekeepers out there, you're the ones ruining the subculture for everybody else. You're too busy living in the past like a sad, lonely, miserable, unhappy human being. Enough of this gatekeeping bullshit. I want to start my own community and my own movement of people who care about, like, genuinely do care about alternative fashion and the music, and embrace people that are a part of it, regardless if they are LGBTQ or people of different racial backgrounds. That to me is what the alternative scene should be about. Embracing everybody that's different, self-expression, being your own independent individual. So, to you gatekeepers out there, you are the types of people ruining it for everybody else. Because you're too busy living your life being stuck in the past like a sad, lonely loser that you are, because you think the people who are interested in this should live up to your standards. Well, guess what? We're not in the 80s or in the 70s anymore. Yes, it started in the 70s and 80s, but we are not in that decade anymore. So people just need to grow the fuck up and stop being gatekeepers. You are adults, not fucking kids, arguing on the fucking internet and trying to make people fit into your standards. This is not the fucking 70s and 80s anymore. You are living in the past. Alternative subculture, music and fashion is about self-expression and individualism. You're expressing yourself differently. You're not giving in to the mainstream or commercial fashion trends or the culture that's happening right now. Unlike some people, I embrace what's new in the alternative fashion scene, whether it's in the music or in the fashion. Because it's gonna change whether you like it or not. And there's nothing you can do about it. So, if you want to live your life on the internet like a loser and be a gatekeeper, then you are clearly don't know how to live your life outside of the internet. So, my next video, I'm going to talk about the history and like the social part of it. Because I've heard a lot of stories about people being bullied and ridiculed and harassed on the streets for dressing alternative or being alternative. I even heard of the tragic story about Sophie Lancaster, about what happened to her and her boyfriend. That was also very sad. And there is some controversy to this, unfortunately. Yeah, that's unfortunate. But, yeah. There's a lot of history, a lot of culture, and I just want you guys to let you guys know this is exactly what it should be. Embracing what's new, expressing yourself, not caring about mainstream or commercial fashion or anti-fashion or whatever. you should be able to do that in your own way. And I feel sorry for these gatekeepers out here, because it must be really exhausting to be a gatekeeper. Why are you worrying about what someone else is doing? Mind your own fucking business. It's got nothing to do with you. So, yeah, that's the video. I do have other videos I want to make. I want to talk more about the history and like the social part of it, historical and sociological. Also, there are some controversies surrounding this alternative fashion subculture, unfortunately. So, yeah. I'll see you guys in the next video. Be yourself. Excuse me. Be yourself. Stay alternative. If you are a person out there and you want to be alternative or get into the fashion and the music, then do it. Excuse me. Do it. Do it. If you want to express yourself, do it. I want to start a new community of people, something new in the alternative scene. Because it's just sad how we got gatekeepers and they're the ones making it toxic. I will see you guys in the next video.